Okay, let's go, kid.
Corey, the Psychic Life Coach, doing a reading for my musical genius friend. One of my favorite clients that I've had for over 25 years now.
Wow. Wow.
What it is happening right now, you're finding out the true meaning of burning desire. Just what needs to be done to make sure the fire is quenched.
To make sure the fire is what?
It won't be quenched. It'll be a pot that boils over, but it won't put out the fire. You're over the top, Barb. You're over the top.
Great.
You have an inclination to deal with mundane affairs too, mundane chores and mundane activities. And that's a good release for you too.
Exactly.
It's physical and it gives you the opportunity to let your mind rest. And your mind is going lickety-split all the time. You're all the time thinking. And it's good for you to do things that will take you out of a thoughtful mode about work and put you into a mind for trivia.
Okay. You're right. Taking care of this house is trivia.
Yeah.
Right.
It can be easy to overdo things right now. Take care not to spend more energy and enthusiasm on pet projects that they in fact merit.
Say that again?
Don't let yourself become overly absorbed in pet projects. They can actually become a distraction.
Oh, I don't understand what you mean by pet projects. All my projects are pet projects.
You don't have any red-headed stepchildren in the bunch, do you?
No, everything's important.
And everything is. It's important, and it is.
But I have to be careful not to overdo. Okay, that's a good point.
That's a good point, to not overdo. As you told me just a moment ago, settle for good enough.
Well, I've been doing that.
You're good enough as a home run.
I gotcha.
It's over the fence. You don't have to put it out in the parking lot.
Okay, you're right.
Everything you're doing is a home run.
Okay, good enough.
And the other thing, pick up the diamonds in the rough. And don't get distracted by the glitter. Make sure that what it is that you put your time into is really worthy of it. You've got so many things going on now, you can become like a child and become distracted with simply what it is that's the most fun.
Yeah, exactly.
And you want to go for substance.
Well, that's what I'm doing, James.
I'm so happy you're working with using your studio as a recording studio. That's fabulous. That's fabulous.
Yeah, and the films are getting better, James. They're getting much better.
Yeah. And animate yourself. Don't just sit there talking. Use your arms and your hands and move around where you're sitting when you're talking. Readjust your yourself and make yourself mobile. You don't want to be stiff.
Okay. I use too much of my arms, James.
No, you don't. No, you don't. As long as you don't get them above your, let's don't get your arms above your chin unless it's for emphasis.
Okay.
Because you can become sort of frenetic acting when you wave your arms up above your head very much. But there's times though that it's worthy of it, isn't there?
Uh-huh.
And pushing too hard.
No, I have to be careful.
When you have to push too hard, things aren't going right. Step aside, put it down, and go do something else.
Correct.
If you're having to push hard, go do the laundry.
You're absolutely right.
And let the moon form a different aspect and come back to it, even if you have to start all over. You don't want to have to, you don't want the performances, and these are performances. You don't want the performances to seem strained.
No, not at all.
You want them to be fun. Because
exactly.
Long term, these pieces that you're doing are going to become gifts for gifted children.
Exactly.
And that's who your market is. The gifted children of the world that want to learn about the composers and want to learn about music.
Good point.
Prepare what you do for dishing up your best ideas. I have a tendency to hold you in the role of being a master and not needing to prep yourself. But you like to prep yourself, and it's good that you do.
I do prep myself always.
Even if something it is that you've read a dozen times before, you find some different meaning or insight relative to it, and it comes out fresh.
Yeah. So what did you say? Prep myself?
Yeah, prep yourself. Not tediously, like you're doing a research paper, but casually, like opening up a book here and there and everywhere on the subject that you have at hand.
That's how I did the notes, James. That's exactly how I did my notes.
Here and there and everywhere, and it all comes together.
Exactly, exactly. Well, I get help.
You get help. You've got the composers with you. I'm getting gooseflesh when I say that. Spirit's moving over me. It's reassuring me that we're right. The composers are working with you, Barb. They're working with you.
They want to help me, right?
Yeah, and if there's something in particular that one of them likes, like for instance, if Schubert really liked a special kind of cognac, put a little glass with some in it on your piano. If Beethoven liked a particular kind of flower, put a rose on your piano.
Okay, got it.
These are enticements that are used for dealing with the spirit world because it shows respect, insight, and appreciation for their sensibilities. It creates a connection. It puts you on each other's wavelength. You are an object of desire right now more than you think so.
Ah.
And you can slice that bread any way you want it. From out and out romance all the way to the mundane fact that the people, when they see that movie, they want to go to do another one.
Interesting. Okay, good.
Because it's going to come out that well. It's going to be a beautiful piece of work.
Well, I've got 14 programs so far.
Well, you basically got everything working in your favor this month.
Okay.
The only thing it is that I would say that you could get into a quandary about is things around you don't go as smooth as you would like them to. It's nothing on your part. It's just the plays of circumstance.
Okay. So don't get upset, right?
Be resilient.
Okay, got it.
And what I would say, for most people I say, when in doubt, clean. I'll say to you, when in doubt, right.
Got it.
So if you have some idle time waiting for the portents to change so that it goes back to being fun and easy and smooth, jot down ideas and things it is that you would like to include and would like to explore.
Mm-hmm.
Be careful about being rash. You know, I've told you 100 times, be the matador, not the bull.
Okay, again, be the matador, not the bull.
And right now you're going 100 miles an hour. You're so excited. You're like a kid at Christmas. But you don't want to fall and break your toy.
Got it. Got it, James. I did fall the other day, but I was lucky.
You did fall?
Yeah, I was taking something out of the closet, and it pushed me backwards. And I fell to the ground. I mean, in my bedroom.
You fell on your bottom?
I fell on my butt, yep.
Well, that's better than falling and trying to catch yourself with your arms.
Exactly, and you know what? I immediately put ice on it so it didn't leave a mark.
That good old Epsom salts will help too.
Yeah, that's what I've been doing.
We got a full moon coming up the 28th of January, and you may find things getting a little wacky.
We may find things a little what?
Wacky, W-A-C-K-Y.
Wacky.
It's a good time for exploring alternative insights regarding what your work is you're doing.
Translate that.
Again, if things get frustrating because they're being a little wacky, step back, relax, and write.
Okay, good. I've got a lot of projects to do, so it's a good thing.
Prioritize, organize. Toward the end of the month, you may get involved with a project that puts you in an unfamiliar situation. Go ahead and do it. It's going to work out great, even if you don't feel comfortable doing it and you don't feel confident about the end results. After you do it, let it rest a day or two and then come back to it.
Okay. I have to start editing the Gina Stern.
This is a time when inspiration goes hand in glove with opportunity. So be ready to invest in it and strike while the iron is hot. That's what this month is.
Should I be doing any promotion?
You can do no wrong. You're in the catbird seat. And work, and especially working with technology, is going to go your way.
Okay.
I'm so excited you're doing those video vignettes in your studio. These are the kinds of things that are going to really set you up on the others.
I know that. And the series is writing itself, Jane. I mean, the ideas are really coming together for like the program I'm going to do on Prokofiev. It's all coming to me.
And you'll be able to speak in an impromptu fashion doing it, too.
Yeah. Yeah. But it comes to me that way. It really does.
The more you do it, the more it'll flow.
Right.
Because getting away from a script is the best thing I've seen you do.
Exactly. You got it.
You're a master. You don't have to look up the facts and details. You know them. You live with them. They're your life.
And it's me at my comfort zone. Yeah.
And they are in your comfort zone, too.
Yeah. What about that Tina Stera DVD?
Your work is inspired now.
Okay.
You don't even have to think about what about. It just comes through you. Through.
It's true.
It comes through you. You're not operating like a passive medium, which is dangerous. You are an inspired artist and a master. And that's how it is coming through you. Inspiration without technique is just a good feeling. And you've got technique, you've got mastery. And so your inspiration creates your body of work.
Mm-hmm.
And if you feel like doing another one after you do one, do part 2 and go on from there. Because sometimes you have a hard time about bridling yourself and holding back. You have so much to share and so much that you want to communicate.
Mm-hmm.
You could call them part 2 or you could call them director's notes.
No, I like to do these programs, and they all come out the same time, around 40 minutes.
That's good. That's good. 40 minutes is a good time for a lecture.
It is. It's just the right time.
But you don't present it as a lecture. You present it as a conversation.
Exactly.
When you get to working more with Facebook Live, you'll be able to have people text, TXT, questions and comments to you, too.
Yeah. Well, it's interesting that one time we were supposed to do it with a Chinese girl.
Yeah.
I couldn't get connected, and you know what, James? You're going to laugh. I had a feeling I wasn't supposed to do it, and it wouldn't connect me.
It didn't work.
It didn't work, and that was, again, divine intervention. And she never called me back again, so that, you know, she said she was doing it next weekend, and she never did, so the hell with it.
Well, one thing I'll vainly say, our work is the work of divine intervention.
Say that again.
And vain, I'll say, our work is the work of divine intervention.
Correct.
Partly because we don't have it together enough to thoroughly plan it. And that's our saving grace.
Much better.
That's our safe when we don't overplan.
He does it much better than we could ever do it.
Absolutely. We become a medium. We become a medium, and we become the message.
Exactly.
And
I
your work,
knew that I wasn't supposed to do it with her intuitively.
Your work is a work of divine intervention and will endure through the ages. You could come back 2,000 years from now and marvel at what stature your work has.
You're kidding. Wow, that's wonderful.
I'm not kidding, because you're putting it to the lowest common denominator without making it banal.
Without making it what?
Without making it banal.
Banal.
You put it on the lowest common denominator without making it banal. You don't go down, you lift them up.
Exactly.
But you reach them with being unpretentious and non-threatening.
Exactly.
Your video vignettes of 45 minutes are going to be a touchstone for you. They're going to get so much mileage, they're going to be your loss leader for 3 oranges.
Wow.
Because they are the kind of thing it is that a child could enjoy. I should imagine some 10, 11, 12-year-old pianists reveling in what it is that you have to share.
Exactly.
And you're not being banal, speaking down to them either. You're not pontificating. You're not a pedagogue. You're a leader. You lead them into the beauty of music and the world of celestial inspired inspiration. It looks like this year you're going to have to work out a matter of dealing with the details having to do with finances and documentation. I think Tommy will help you a lot on that.
Related to the foundation?
Yeah, and whatever other income you happen to have that comes in as well.
Okay, so in other words, with my accountant.
Yeah, have a close relationship with your accountant.
I just got a new one.
Give them albums. Be sweet to them.
I did. Actually, I already did that, Jen. Thank you very much.
It probably don't cost you $3 to give somebody one of those, and it's worth $1 million.
It cost me nothing.
They what?
I've already paid for it, so I don't even calculate the cost.
Isn't that wonderful?
I've got hundreds in my garage.
I once had about 350 of my little 5x7 inch paintings like I give you, and now I've got about 40 left.
Wow.
I sold them and gave them away. I didn't give very many of them away, but I sold most of them.
That's great, James.
We got to go back to the well, though. In your meditations, and I think you should spend some time in meditation every day.
I do.
When you do, address a particular composer that you have on your mind.
Okay.
Tell them, come speak to me. Let me know what needs to be done. Let me know how to do it.
Already, James.
They will show you. They will guide you. They will take your fingers and put them in the right places. This can be a year for romance if you have a mind for it.
With somebody other than Tommy, right?
Could be, but it's somebody that's basically a friend.
I know. There are a few possibilities on the horizon.
and you become more and more attractive. One of the things I found out about Epsom salts is it plumps our skin, Plumps, which reduces a lot of the fine lines in our faces.
Wow.
Yeah, I keep reading up on Epsom salts. I think it's magical.
So did Casey.
Yes, it is.
Edgar Casey thought so too.
I agree. Have Tommy help you file for government and organizational funding. You got it if you go after it.
Okay, for the foundation?
For the foundation. You got it if you go after it.
Go after it.
And do it like a shotgun. Don't just one or two. Barrage.
A lot of them, right?
Yeah, photostat them and send them all out.
Okay.
Put a unique cover letter addressing the person that's in charge who you likely know.
Yeah, we can do that easily, James.
Well, that'll be a very valuable thing for you to do, and it'll actually give credence to your foundation as well.
Right.
It doesn't have to be a big grant, but the fact it is that some foundation gives you a grant is all you mention in your paperwork. You don't mention the fact it is that they were miserly with you.
Yeah, well, that's the way we use the Prokofiev grant. It's very prestigious that we got it.
Yes, it's very important. I'm getting hooked on Prokofiev.
Good.
Schubert got me into it.
Good.
I went back and listened to Peter and the Wolf.
Good.
It was a Christmas piece anyway. Your destiny has to do with organizations that touch the home and touch the families. Those are your markets, not the erudite.
I know. That's obvious to me. The musicians, the pianists aren't my market.
I think they know it all already.
Exactly. They don't understand what the hell I'm doing.
Yes, an ordinary family with a gifted child and a piano is your best market.
Right. Yeah, I can't be in the world of my colleagues.
Your colleagues are out of the loop. They're out of the loop. You're over and beyond
I
them.
am out of the loop, James.
You're not out of the loop. They're out of the loop.
Oh, okay.
They drew a circle.
I'm an academic.
They drew a circle that took you out. You drew a circle that took them in. They will come around to it. They will know what you've done. They'll want to see what it is.
I already sent it to a few academics. I have done that today, actually.
They will marvel at it and praise you for what insight and gift it is that you have for doing it.
I'm seeing things I've never seen before, James.
It's just beginning. Your work this year is going to be absolutely inspired. The only thing it is that you have to be careful about is not rushing things.
Okay. That means rushing things physically, too.
Physically, walking to your studio. That's a rough walk.
It is a rough walk, you're right. And I have to be careful.
You have to be careful because you could trip on that, especially if there's any ice on it.
I have been careful, James, you're right.
I wouldn't even walk on it. I'd walk around it.
Okay, that's a good idea.
Walk around it. Don't walk on it. The roots from the trees have buckled it and brought it into an all tortuous display of obstacles. Step around it, and that can be symbolic of you stepping around the obstacles that you have to make your studio the wellspring of creativity and the temple of beauty that it is.
Okay.
Make time for writing.
Okay.
Are you uncomfortable using a digital recorder?
I don't like to write like that. I don't write like that.
Okay.
I write with words and I edit as I write. I'm very meticulous. It takes me forever, but I like what I do.
You're a master of words. You're a master of words. You'll write something and you'll hone it and polish it and embellish it and burnish it.
I write. Exactly.
And it comes out beautiful.
Well, eventually it does. I go back to it every day and I reread it and start again, and then I do it the next day and I start again. And that's the way I work in the Schubert, and I've got it now. It's really good.
Set some of your time every week for writing.
Okay, I hear you.
Discipline yourself to it. Say, okay, Wednesday from 3 to 6 p.m., I'm going to focus on writing.
Got it.
And it doesn't matter what it is that you're writing.
Okay, I'm a good writer, I am.
You are a good writer. You would do well with writing too.
Well, I'm going to try and write my story one day.
Start working on it a little bit at a time.
Yeah, I have to start writing it. I know that.
If you write 1 page a day on your story, just think how many pages you'll have at the end of the year. And it's not going to be much. You can knock out a page in a few minutes. You're prolific.
Yeah, I know.
You're prolific. You are with everything. You're driven. Friendship associations are important. And friendship associations are going to bring wherewithal to your foundation too.
Okay.
You don't have to say, well, you're my friend, give me some money. But that's the purpose.
Okay.
Because you and everyone you're talking to has a good time when you're carrying on a conversation.
I know.
Showboat. Every time you have the opportunity to get in the media, do it. And do it with a picture.
You're writing a 5-part story on me in my local paper.
Tell them you want a picture with every installment.
Okay.
Because the pictures are worth 1,000 words. I think you should surely have a picture of your studio. Your studio.
I don't want people to know where I live, James.
But they can't see your studio from the road.
Okay.
You don't have to give your address. Be more free-floating and interpretive in your work. It doesn't sound exactly the way an academic would want it to sound anyway.
No, that's the way I'm approaching it. You're right.
Interpret.
That's exactly what I'm doing, James.
Interpret. Your composers love that. That's one of the reasons why they love you. Is because you make your music, you make their music come alive.
Exactly.
It's not in the tombstone of a sheet music.
Exactly.
And once again, you'll drive your peers crazy because your audience loves it. Because you tune into your audience.
What
You
makes
reach
you
them.
feel?
You make people cry.
Yeah.
And some of them that are academicians, you put knots in their stomach. And they say, how the hell does she get away with that?
Funny, isn't it?
It's all because you don't want to sound like a MIDI Howard piano. Perfection is not your goal. Interpretation is your goal.
Yeah.
Right now you're in an opportunity to gain public acclaim. Put your music out there as much as you can and promote it.
Okay.
Look into Fiverr and get somebody inexpensive to promote your YouTube.
Well, it hasn't gone public yet. When it goes public.
Well, I suggest you do it as soon as you can.
It has to be on the unlisted station for the fundraiser.
It has to be what?
It has to be on my unlisted channel because there's a fundraiser going on, and if I do it public, anybody can get it free.
Well, you've got thousands of other things you can put on it. It doesn't have to be your newest endeavor.
Okay. Yeah, well, they're out there on YouTube, James.
Go to Fiverr and find somebody that'll do a cheap promotion campaign for you. You should be able to get something for less than $50.
Okay.
Because you're at a point right now where it's not a matter of your art, it is a matter of marketing. You've got a body of work, now sell it. Did you read what I wrote about the talents?
About what?
I sent you an email about the talents.
No, you did not.
Well, the master was going away on a trip, and he gave us three sentences.
Yeah, we talked about it.
Yeah. Don't bury your work in the fact it is early. Your early work is wonderful.
Okay. Yeah, I've got all the work out there.
Shop around on Fiverr and find somebody that you got a rapport with that can deal with promoting.
Okay.
That's what I'm going to do with my little book. You may feel difficult about being able to get through to some people by focusing yourself on others. You stand to gain much more than by openly promoting yourself. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Again, it's a personality. The millennials want to know how the sausage is made, and they want to know all about you. I would even suggest putting together a 3 or 4 page bio.
It's already on my website, James.
It's on your website already?
Yeah.
Good, good. They like that.
And I got a great Wikipedia entry.
They like that.
It's very impressive, actually.
Put off major decisions until you've seen all sides of an issue. And then ask somebody you respect what their point of view is on it.
Okay.
And you've got a lot of important things going on right now.
Like what?
I think your presentations in your studio are going to be a milestone.
Okay.
Because you're beautiful and you make them fun.
Yeah, they are fun.
And you laugh and you smile, and that's contagious.
I know. My energy is contagious, right?
So many professional musicians don't really smile or let glee come through their music.
I know. They're miserable.
They're miserable and they communicate misery, and they're technicians that are concerned about getting the right note at the right time and the right way. And they don't need the composer for that.
Exactly.
For what you're doing, you need the composer there with you to guide you.
Exactly.
And they do. And they're having fun with it too.
Yeah.
If it feels right, go ahead, no matter how far out it seems. This is a time when inspiration goes hand in glove with opportunity. So be ready to invest in it and strike while the iron is hot. You're in a cycle of inspiration now. You're going to be dealing in February with the quandary of innovation and tradition.
Okay.
You're going to pull it off. You're going to pull it off.
Okay.
Nobody else is in doing interpretations the way you do. They're scared to.
You're absolutely right, James. You're right on with it.
They're afraid they risk their professionalism by letting it go loose and free and take control of itself.
Exactly.
You just talk to the piano and the composer and have a good time with it. And that is distressing. That is distressing for them.
I love it. I love it.
And they say it's because they work so hard on their art. Real art doesn't take hard work.
It just comes.
After the development of technique comes art. They should work hard on technique and allow the art to manifest itself like you do.
Yeah, well...
You're a master of technique. You're a master of technique. You don't have to struggle with it. The first part of March is going to be a troublesome time for you when some element of sadness touches your life. You will work your way through it with your music and with your dedications.
Do you see what it is, James? Is it death?
No, it's you wondering about your own stability. That's the reason why you've got to take your time. What's happening to you can absolutely drive you into a manic state of inspiration.
Okay, you're giving me good advice.
And you've got to pace yourself with it and do the mundane.
Yeah, well, you know what? I have a house full of plants thanks to Tootie, so I have to take care of those.
That's the kind of thing it is you need to be doing.
I know, it helps me, James. It does. I notice how it helps me.
It really does. It grounds you.
Yes, it does.
Find other little things that do it too.
I know, I always have chores around here, dear. I'm cleaning my own house at this point. I don't have a cleaning lady.
I think that's the best choice for you to make.
Right now it is, James. It's really the only way I can do it.
I would say on up into the springtime, continue doing it.
I definitely will.
Because we have to ground ourselves.
I know, James. This is going to be a tough period.
Well, the tough period is the pot's boiling over. And you got to be careful to not let it put out the fire.
Got it.
And doing mundane things is taking the heat off the pot and letting things get into a simmering equilibrium that you can master comfortably.
I agree with you completely.
But I'm not discouraging you for going crazy every now and then and going totally over the top and blowing your own mind.
Well, that's what I do when I binge on film. I have Netflix now.
Isn't that wonderful?
It is wonderful. I'm loving it.
And you're having a good time. You're a Pam. And you're beautiful, and you know you're beautiful on the camera.
Yeah.
And like I said, I wouldn't be critical of you doing 2 a day if you want to.
It takes a little too much out of me when I do 2 a day.
Well, what I was thinking about was doing director's notes.
Now, James, you know what I do? I do like 3 or 4 takes, and then I decide what I wanted, which one's the best. I like it spontaneous. I don't want any extra things. People don't watch extra things.
Okay, I agree with you. I agree with you.
I do 4 takes, that's why I get exhausted, and then I usually take the first or the second. But it's good for me to work that way. It's the way I have to work. I know how to work. I'm finding my way myself. And I'm glad I'm doing it myself. I don't want anybody to direct me. I like to do it myself.
Around the middle of March, you're going to be learning from your adversaries, and they will be coming forward. They might catch you a little off guard.
Wow. I have a master class to do in the middle of March.
Keep your emotional umbrellas happy. You might have some high-band technicians that can't really fathom your inspirational approach to the mastery of the work.
Well, I'm giving a master class in March. Maybe that's what you're seeing.
Yeah, you might have some tried and true technicians in there too.
Oh, absolutely.
And they might cause you to doubt. Don't. You're the master.
Okay.
You're the acolyte. And even though this sounds like a contradiction, you're in an excellent position to integrate yourself with more conservative colleagues who will be more likely to help you out in your farther out schemes.
In my what scheme?
Your far out schemes.
Okay.
You're going to be coming up with some wild ideas. You hadn't even come up with any yet.
You never know.
There will be on and off power plays coming into your life, but not a steady invasion. An occasional assault is followed by a quick retreat if you put up a strong front. That's the way you did it with that violinist.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm going to have that, aren't I?
Unfortunately, most men, the only thing that they can do with an alpha woman is argue with her, and you get more than your share of arguments.
Not from Tommy, though.
No, he understands alpha women. I love alpha women. My mother was an alpha woman. But unfortunately, most insecure men, they want to argue with alpha women because they don't understand the necessity of encouraging and collaborating.
I agree with you. But I handle it, right?
You are a master. That's
Good.
your fallback position, Barb. You are Dr. Barbara Nisman. And few of them
Tommy always calls me that and uses that when he wants to make an impact.
Tommy uses it?
Yeah, when he talks to somebody about me, he says, Dr. Barbara, and I kind of flinch, and then he says she doesn't like being called that, but she is a doctor.
A PhD.
Yep.
And it's not a loose term. It can be one of multiplicity because your music is healing.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm beginning to understand how Schubert used his music to heal himself. I liken to it.
Yeah, right. Although he suffered a great deal, James.
That's a shame. I'd love to have been able to help him.
I don't think you could have.
Oh, sure I could. I'm vain enough to think I can. I've helped a number of people that dealt with depression.
It was more than depression. He had syphilis.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Paresis is like dementia. It's progressive.
Exactly.
Poor guy.
He was in terrible pain.
How old did he live?
31.
That is too young. Far too young.
Much too young.
Goethe didn't do his best work until he was elderly.
Mm-hmm.
I love Goethe's Faust.
Yeah.
Faust escapes the devil and ascends to heaven because of the purity of his love for Drusilla.
For Gretchen.
Yeah, Goethe didn't send Faust to hell.
Mm-hmm.
That's part of the reason why I love Goethe.
Mm-hmm.
He was a true Renaissance man. He was a true Renaissance man. Your inspiration can be on again and off again, and seem like brilliant flashes at one moment may turn out to be a flash in the pan history the next. The trick is to pick out the diamond in the rough from all the chipped rhinestones. I've said that one already.
I know you did.
You may have a half dozen ideas about what you want to do, but do the one that's going to have the most durability. But keep it playful. That was one thing I enjoyed about your presentation, is you kept it playful by smiling and laughing.
Yeah, well, I was telling them what I go through. That's really what it was about. It is about. I'm taking them with me.
Keeping that element of levity in it is important, even if you have to fake a laugh.
But I'm usually not faking it, James. I'm serious. I'm not.
I know. You find joy and pleasure and humor. You find humor in your music.
I know I do. And I laugh at me. I really do laugh at me a lot.
Tell them you do.
Yeah.
Because there's something important that anybody that is applying themselves arduously to a career, they must be able to laugh at themselves whenever they make a mistake or fall short of their goals. They've got to be able to laugh.
Right.
And unfortunately, so many people that are really career-oriented, if they fail at something, they feel despair and chagrin and disappointment.
I know.
You can help them feel laughter in it.
Okay, dear.
June is going to be a wonderful time.
What's happening?
It's a time for the world to be confronting conservative and radical ideologies. And you are a bridge. People don't give art for the credit that it deserves in the realm of problem solving and in the realm of inspired ideas. Inspiration is transportable and contagious, and your work is inspired. You could put it on your albums. When you're tired of the routine of this piece of music, listen to Barb Nistman's interpretation and find the joy and pleasure that the composers intended. That'd be a plug, wouldn't it?
Well, you know that quote I always use? The guy says, and she walks over the cliff hand in hand with the composer.
Yes, absolutely. That's what you
I
do.
it all the time in my bio. What sets her apart is she walks over the cliff hand in hand with the composer.
Laughing. You do it laughing. You don't do it with worry. You do it with laughter.
Mm-hmm.
Here, let's surprise him with this twist, Beethoven. And you put in a little flourish that wasn't in the paperwork, and it makes it come alive.
Well, that's his instruction. It's not me.
Yeah, that's a divine intervention.
It is,
And you can think of all of this work piled up in a pile, all the composers' pieces of work it is that you have in your library, and what you're doing, you're setting fire to them.
Yeah.
You're giving them a new life.
Yeah.
By June, we're going to be in an area of distress. And people are going to be looking for things that bring joy.
Exactly.
I don't know how you work it into it, but the words joy, joyful, joyous.
James, you haven't listened to my videos. I use joy constantly in my videos. I preach. Every single video I preach about joy.
Absolutely, and that's the way it is.
Carefully, you'll hear me.
I'm too close to the trees.
Okay, well that's the problem.
I stand too close to the trees. I need perspective.
Every video, I always preach at the end.
And it comes out that way beautifully.
And I talk about joy, I talk about passion. Yeah.
One of the things you can say about passion is to me, if you have a temper, it's an indication of passion. But you can curb your temper and channel your passion. Start working on ingratiating yourself to your conservative colleagues. Any of them you can meet halfway, send them an album.
Okay.
Because they are eventually going to come around to you.
I know.
Because they will want to get on the band.
Surviving, and they won't.
They want to get on the bandwagon too.
But I will survive, that's for sure.
You will endure.
Yeah, I like that better. I will endure.
You will endure. You're going to be an immortal. You've got to
do after I die, right?
Absolutely, absolutely. You'll go on and on. Your body of work will endure.
Wonderful.
Because the young people will seek it out because it's fresh. F-R-E-S-H. It doesn't sound like a MIDI machine.
Right.
Ask me questions.
What about my health?
Toward the end of September, your good judgment is going to be the order of the day.
Say that again.
The end of September, good judgment is the order of the day.
Okay.
Particularly where details need fitting into place and plans need elaboration. And the ideas can be mined for additional and unexpected fruits without pushing them beyond their limits. It is easier than usual to know how you're right, then go ahead. The latter part of September is going to be another milestone for you because you're going to get into something new and different or do what you're doing in a new and different fashion.
Okay. And we'll get the Gina Sarah film done?
Of course, you've got it done in your mind already.
I do.
All you got to do is put the clips together.
Exactly. With his new software, we'll do that.
I've got to learn more about Prokofiev.
Go online and read about him.
I'll listen to the music. I get more out of that than trying to read about them. I've tried reading about some of the composers in Wikipedia, and that's about as far as I can get. But it gives a good thumbnail sketch of their lives and their work.
What about my home, James? Everything's good at home, right?
You might be doing some improvements on it. Maybe painting a room or doing some other exterior details. But there's there's nothing falling apart.
Good.
Who knows, you might even mop your kitchen.
I'm working up to that. I just moved the rug to cover the stains.
Whose blood was it?
The mouse.
Oh my goodness.
I killed a mouse on Saturday.
Oh my goodness, I killed 3 of them.
Well, for me, it's hard to do. It's very hard to do. Okay, what else, baby?
In November, you're in a position...
I'm not going to travel in August, am I?
Let me look back and see.
Amsterdam, am I? I feel I'm not.
Let me look back in my notes and see August. The latter part of August, around the 26th, and it'll be a good time for you to travel to or take a trip or have a vacation or go visit some old friends and party.
I have an invite for the 21st. Do I do it?
Is it after the vaccine?
After the what?
vaccine.
I don't know if everybody will get it. I'll probably have it by then.
I think you'll probably have it by then. I'm supposed to be in the second or third tier, and so that puts you in the second or third tier.
Exactly.
And I would suggest that no matter what sadness touches your life in the latter part of August, after that, make it a celebration and a dedication of joy to whatever it is that brought the tribulation.
So will I go there?
It looks like you can.
Will I?
Well, if you get your rhythm on it, you will.
Really? Okay.
You got to keep up your contacts, whatever they are.
I will.
You're good about that. You're a good businesswoman.
Uh-huh.
And Jesus in his parable said, we should make good music with our we should make good business with our talent.
Good.
The 1st of December, you're going to be a powerhouse.
Good. What's happening?
Pace yourself. It's a time of energy, extra energy. Jupiter's going to aspect Mars, and that's going to be giving you super energy. But pace yourself. Generally, the more energized and excited and in a hurry you are, the more you got to calm down, take it easy, and move slowly and carefully.
Got it. I know that, Jane. I've had experience with that.
Yeah, the first part of December is going to be often on power plays, but not a steady invasion. Whoever it is will make an occasional assault followed by a quick retreat. You put up a strong front. It might be some critic that's got a burr under their saddle.
I would be surprised. Should I respond and combat them? Should I fight back?
Put up a strong front. Don't give in. But don't get in the fight.
Okay.
You don't want to get down in the ditch with them.
With the mud.
Yeah, you both get muddy. You want to stay above it all and maintain the strong front that you are Dr. Bard Missman, authority on multitudes of composers and a master of endless amounts of beautiful music. You've got more music than Schubert. I played all of his and it didn't last as long as yours does.
You could have played all of his things.
Well, it played for over 2 days.
Really?
Yeah, he put out a lot.
Over 1,500 works.
He put out a lot. Some of it weren't long pieces. They were just vignettes.
Some of them. Hey, I'm getting tired, James.
Well, we're wrapping it up. We're wrapping it up.
This was great. great. I'm going to take an Epsom salt bath.
Take a soak. Fall asleep.
Exactly.
And you might want to turn the thermostat up a notch on your hot water heater.
Okay.
Because the heat does you good.
It does.
The heat in the Epsom salts is rejuvenating. One thing I read recently is Epsom salt soaks removes the fine lines from our faces because it puffs them up. Epsom salts makes our faces fuller. Well, this has been fun. Are you there? This is Corey signing off with your annual reading, my friend. And the only thing it is I look forward to is bringing my sweetheart to have our personal contact concert.
Right, yeah, I promised you that.
Well, the stars say that it could happen any time.
Okay, good luck.
Yeah, it's got to be a giver, not a taker.
Correct.
I need too much. No, I need enough. I'm not in a position to give anything but love, devotion, and fidelity.
Well, that counts for a lot.
And pure old-fashioned love.
Just be careful of those exits.
I'll let you go for tonight, and I look forward to you coming back with any questions that you might have.
Okay, dear. Thank you for this. This was a real treat.
I've got a whole year's worth of notes here in front of me, and we can go back through them and find things we didn't even mention.
Okay, that's great.
But I gave you the high points.
Well, in general, it was very good.
Thank you. I'm inspired. I'm going to go work some more.
Great. Okay, don't be too manic.
I'm not manic, am I?
No, but I'm saying don't work through the night.
Oh, I won't. Sweet dreams. Have fun. And I'll send this off to you.
Bye-bye. Good night.
Bye-bye.